In this video, I'm going to show you how to unlock
God mode.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, you're going to learn how to become unquittable on all levels. I'm talking about mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, professionally. If you're new to the channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. I'm about to give you the game right here. By the time you finish watching this video, you are going to be untouchable. You are going to be firing on all cylinders, and you're going to notice everything in your life is going to unravel exactly the way you want it to, okay? Now look, before I get into everything, I want to make something very clear. When I say God mode, this has absolutely nothing to do with religion. I don't want to hear none of that shit, okay? Regardless of your religious beliefs, if you want to know where I stand on religion, go to my page, go look for one of my videos where I actually talk about this. And if you want to have a conversation about theology, go comment on one of those videos. As far as this video here, I'm not entertaining none of that shit. But this video right here is about unlocking God mode. If you know, you know, especially if you're one of them like old school gamers, because God mode is when you unlock all the secrets of the game, when you get all the level ups, all the power ups, all the weapons, everything. Nothing in this game can touch you. And that's what I'm going to show you right here in this video, is how to unlock that in real life. Now, look, I'm going to keep it 100. None of what I'm saying in this video is going to work for you unless you believe it is going to work. It all starts up here. All right, you've heard the saying, I got to see it to believe it. Nah, man, we're going to flip that. You got to believe it to see it. You have to believe that you are the curator of your reality, that reality bends to your will, that you deserve your desires, that everything you want in this world, everything that you long for is already yours. Do you believe that? If you don't believe it, if that's not where your head is, then this is not for you. You need to skip, go to a different video. But if you are at least willing to suspend disbelief for the duration of this video and accept that everything you want, like your reality is a blank canvas, and your thoughts and your actions are the paintbrush, and every day and every step you take is a brush stroke towards your masterpiece. Do you believe that? If you're in agreement with that, this is going to work for you. You are going to turn up. You are going to activate God mode. So listen, the first step to activating God mode, once you put yourself in that mindset that anything and everything is possible, and everything that you want in this world is already yours. You've already tuned into the frequency of it. The first thing you need to do is write down exactly what you want. You have to write it down. And I mean, actually write it down. You can eventually translate it to your notes app or type it up or whatever. But the act of using your brain and transferring those thoughts into moving your hand and actually putting it down on paper, there's some power in that. The first step to making something happen is writing it down. But you're not just going to write down random shit. You're not going to bullet point this. There's a specific way that you need to do this. Once you're very clear on what it is you want out of life, and it can be anything, don't take all the morality out of it. You know, as long as you're not wishing for harm or to damage the life of others, everything that you want is going to flow to you. You have to keep yourself in this mind state of that's what it is. So when you get to writing it down, you want to write down everything as if you already have it. You don't want to write down, I want this, I want that. No, you want to put yourself in a state of gratitude as if you've already received the things that you want. You want to say, I am so grateful for the 6 or 7 figures that I have in my bank account. I am so thankful for this loving relationship and this beautiful family and this amazing wife or husband and these beautiful children. You want to write it down as if it's already in your possession and you are so grateful to have it. And again, we're stripping morality out of this. I don't want anybody to feel shame about wanting material things. If you want a new car, if you want a new house, if you want new clothes, jewelry, whatever it is that you want, it can be that. It can be something altruistic. You know what I'm saying? You want to help a family member get out of a financial crisis. If whatever it is, speak about it in the affirmative, speak about it in the present, or even in the past tense of like, I have it, I'm enjoying it, and really put yourself in a position, in the mind state, in the mind frame of already being in possession of these things that you want. I want you to become obsessed. I want you to be obsessed with the things that you want out of life. I want you to have narrow tunnel vision. And in order to do that, you're going to have to, number one, this list that you're making, you want to keep it on you and reference it all the time. Look at it all the time. Read it all the time, especially first thing in the morning when you open your eyes before you do anything else. All right, you take a deep breath. Before you start your day, I want you to immerse yourself in the feeling of having the things that you already want. I want you to talk about it as if it's already yours. And now it's time to eliminate distractions. So you've got to be very careful about the things that you bring into your world. All right. So this is where it becomes important to now audit your circle. You got to be careful of the people that you bring around you. All right. If the people who you bring around you have a low negative energetic frequency, it's going to disrupt you connecting to the things that you want and you ascending into God mode. So you have to be very selective about who you share your energy with. And it's a shame sometimes, but the people who you love and the people who might even love you, you might have to create a little space. In fact, this is a good time to disappear. This is a good time to back away from social media, because the stuff that you wrote down on that paper, nobody else needs to see that. You don't need to go posting on social media. Okay. You need to keep that to yourself and let that brew within you. Let it guide your actions. And I promise you, you'll start just instinctively moving towards those things. You'll start making moves that attract those type of things. The people who are supposed to be in your life will start to show up when you block everything out and you put all your focus and energy onto the life that you're trying to create. So now that you're focused, now that you've got your blinders on, you got tunnel vision. All right. Now it's time to prime yourself. You've got to raise your vibration to the highest frequency. And the way we're going to do that is to condition your mind and your body. You have to make it a point every day to read something that's going to nourish your mind. And I recommend reading something that's either in the self-development realm or that is in addition to whatever your career or profession is, because you're sharpening your sword. You're becoming more proficient. You're becoming better in all areas. So the areas that you want to improve, of course, we're talking about emotional development, spiritual development, professional development. What you're really doing is priming your brain, right? The more information that you take in, the more that you exercise this muscle up here, the better you are going to perform in all areas, the quicker you're going to be, the better you will be able to spot opportunities when they show up in your world. Mental conditioning is not just about the books that you read, though. It's about the information that you avoid. Turn the TV off, like my boy Kendrick Lamar said. You got to turn it off. This is not the time for you to be tapped into the news. This is not the time for you to be a consumer. You are a creator. You're a creator of your reality. So you need to unplug from the news. You need to unplug from social media. You need to unplug from the noise that has absolutely nothing to do with the stuff you wrote down on that paper. That has absolutely nothing to do with the point of your trajectory. Now, I'm not saying you can't care. I'm saying that should not be your first priority, and you have to be careful about the energetic state that is created every time you watch the news, every time you read a news article, every time you see a headline that disrupts or kind of goes against your worldview or your beliefs. Does that take you into a negative space? Because that brings down your vibration. And when your vibration is brought down, you're susceptible to all things. Anything can pull you in any direction. So you have to be very careful of that. Unplug. The next step, and I will argue the most important step, is to condition your body. You know, I'm a huge advocate for physical fitness, and it's not just because I want to look good. Like that's a perk that comes with that comes with the package, right? But what we're really doing is making sure that our body is operating at its highest level. So that's why we train, okay? So that our bodies are metabolizing, so that our bodies are processing, so that we are reducing body fat, and that we're able to, the endorphins that release when you train, when you exercise, they have a spillover effect that affects every other area of your life. It affects how you show up everywhere, not just the physical. Obviously, if you look good, you feel good, you act good, right? But on top of that, the vibrational frequency that you put out just attracts more to you, and conditioning your body to be the strongest it can be, and by proxy, the leanest it can be, eliminating unnecessary and excess body fat. So in addition to training hard and building that muscle, you have to be very mindful of the foods that you put into your body. Studies have shown that your level of depression decreases when you change your diet, when you stop fueling yourself with BS and you start, and literally it's an elimination diet. Like when we talk about reducing body fat and increasing muscle, what we're talking about is a high protein diet with a lot of vegetables, with moderate carbohydrates, but we cut out the junk, okay? And your body is going to be able to process and digest better. Your gut health is going to be better, which affects the way that you think, the way that your mind moves. And all of these things become in alignment. When you are physically strong, nobody can mess with you. When you're mentally strong, nobody can mess with you. And these things pour into your emotional strength, all right? So it is imperative that you are following a consistent and progressive training program that you are without fail sticking to. At least 3 times a week, you need to be pushing yourself physically. Every day, or at least 6 days out of the week, you need to be fueling yourself with the highest quality foods that you can possibly get your hands on. Absolutely no alcohol. No drugs, no alcohol, no mind-altering substances. This is not the time and the place for that. You cannot operate at your highest level when you are bringing yourself down, when you are messing with your frequencies. Cut it all out. This is a non-negotiable. This, in addition to creating the reality that you want, this increases your frequency and the likelihood of these things coming into your world. This is why people can't mess with you. It increases your confidence, not just the way that you look, but the way that you perform, right? You feel good all the time. And when you are in a positive state of mind, if you're just in a positive place, you are able to maneuver through things. You can see through BS. And the next point that I want to make is that you are in control of how you respond to things emotionally. Emotional intelligence is a term that gets thrown around a lot, and it can be considered a buzzword, but I want you to understand exactly what emotional intelligence is, at least in the context of what we're talking about, and how you can use it to your advantage to create the reality that you want and to enter God mode. So when we talk about emotional intelligence, all that really is understanding what emotions you are feeling, what triggers these emotions, how your body is responding to them, but not acting from an emotional space. See, I'm not one of these people that's going to tell you like be emotionless, be heartless, be none of that. That's impossible. All right. You're human beings. You're going to react to things emotionally. But the power that you gain and the emotional intelligence that increases within you comes from understanding when you're experiencing an emotion, being aware of what has triggered that emotion. Okay. And then operating not from that emotional space, but from a space that is solution based, that's logic based. If someone is able to get you to react emotionally to something, they hold power over you. This is why you need to block out the news. This is why you need to block out the media, because they purposely create headlines and stories and narratives that trigger emotion. And they want you to act from an emotional space, because when you're acting from an emotional space, you're void of logic. And when you're void of logic, they can get you to do whatever. You don't realize that when you consume a lot of this stuff, or when you just act from an emotional space, when you let people or things trigger you, you've given up power, you've given up control, and there's no way you can ascend. There's no way that you can get the things that you want if people can play you like a puppet, if you're constantly reacting to things. Emotions are not bad. You just need to take a deep breath, understand what you're feeling, understand why you're feeling what you're feeling. And if you can, disconnect from that emotion. Don't act from that space. Act from a space that's solution based. Now, the final piece here, I'm going to show you how to summon large amounts of money into your world, and how to level up professionally, and how these things are actually married. You've probably heard this before, but the amount of money that you draw into your world is a direct reflection of the value that you provide, which means you have to work to become a valuable individual. And I know that's broad, but you can deliver value on so many different levels. It's just a matter of finding one space and pouring energy into becoming proficient in that space. This is why I've been a fitness professional for 10 years. When I discovered that I had a passion for fitness, I said, okay, and if you're familiar with the Ikigai, and if you're not, I'll do a video on this, but fitness for me, and when you discover this is going to open up your world. But fitness for me was something that I enjoyed, something that I was good at, something the world needs, and something that I could be paid for. And it was the centerpiece of all of that. And when I discovered that and I saw that I could make a living from that, I took every moment I had to become better and better at this, which means when we were talking about before, picking up a book and reading it, you want to enrich your mind into self-development, but also career development. So whatever lane that you're in, and if you haven't found that, let's talk, because we can get you to that point. But if you have found what your drive is, what your ikigai is, what your purpose is, and you can be paid for it, all right, you're going to take every step that you can to improve your skill set, to become better, to sharpen your sword. Now, here's where the money part comes in. Do you believe that you're valuable? You should. If you don't, rewind this shit. Let's start over. Get yourself in this mind state that you deserve your desires. Everything that you want is coming to you, but you gotta work for it. And this is where the work comes in. You do everything that I said in this video and then continue to sharpen yourself professionally and put yourself in the mind state that you attract high quality people who value who you are and need what you provide. And then it becomes a matter of conversation. How many people can you speak to about what you do? If you work a traditional job, how can you show up in your job and operate at the highest level? How can you level up in your job? You deserve it. You deserve a promotion. You deserve to be paid high ticket prices. You deserve to have a bank account that says ,00,00. You deserve it. You have to keep telling yourself that you attract large amounts of money easily and effortlessly. And then watch it happen. Watch everything you want in this world show up in front of you. It might be subtle. It might be very matter of fact. Now it's time to put it into practice. I want you to do everything that I said in this video. If you need to rewind it, if you need to save this video and come back to it and start over, I mean, you need to write everything down. And you need to write it down in great detail as if you already have it. You need to put yourself in the physical state of growth. You need to put yourself in the mental state of growth. You need to put yourself in this space that you attract everything that you desire, that you deserve your desires. The last piece that puts this all together is accountability. You have to accept the fact that your world is exactly the way it is because of you. There's two ways to look at it. You could say, I don't have the things that I want because of my actions, or you could say, I have everything I desire because of my actions. Both are true. But which side of the coin do you want to look at? Which perspective do you want to take? I can tell you that the latter will create more abundance. It'll bring more into your world. Nobody can stop you because you're not worried about other people. You are locked in on the thing that you want. You're improving your physical. You're improving your mental. You are increasing it and raising your vibration, which is attracting the things that you want. You are in God mode. Nothing can stop you. And if you need proof, if you need some type of tangible proof, try this out. Everything that I just said in this video, try it for the next 60 days. Every day, write down the things that you want, okay? Recite it, say it out loud. Stick to a training program, nourish your body, watch your physical improve. Practice emotional intelligence, disconnect from social media, be a creator instead of a consumer. Affirm to yourself that you are the creator of your reality. Every day for 60 days. Right, and take a look at where you are now and where you are in 60 days and tell me you have not ascended. Tell me you're not attracting more money because of the conversations that you're having, because of the reverence that you bring to the table, because of the value that you've created as a human being. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this. Let me know in the comments if you are going to apply this to your life right now. I would love to hear stories about ways that you've shifted and created your reality. But more than anything else, I want you to apply this so that you can get a specific result, so that you can turn up, so that you can enter God mode. And until the next video, I want you to keep your eyes on your vision and your mind on the grind. Let's go.